Hello. We're going to the third fight in the final tier of the Omega Raid series. This is the 11th fight total. This one's a little difficult. Usually when I see people run it in Duty Roulette, we struggle a little bit. And you'll see in this footage that we struggled a little bit. It's mostly being directionally challenged. So if you're directionally challenged, this might be challenging for you. I'm directionally challenged. It was challenging for me. There we go. Okay. Nobody has to feel bad about it. It just is what it is. It's a nice song though. Okay. So we're fighting Omega. Omega, you know, like what the raid is named after. Use the Omega Jammer to destroy Omega's additional armaments. Okay, so that's what this duty action is. When we see extra stuff around, we're gonna have to use the duty action. So, start off, main tank turns the boss. Atomic Ray. This is gonna be a raid wide. Mustard Bomb is the tank buster. Okay, this thingy, we've got AoEs, we just spread them out. Oh, okay. Come see. Okay, Flamethrower, we've got cone AoEs everywhere. And so, while you're splitting up for these circle AoEs, you gotta find a safe spot within these, like, cones. Okay, sit down. This is a serious guy. Sit down. Okay. You see? Okay. So after the AoEs go off, it will leave these puddles of fire. And so you need to like run out of them pretty quickly. If you stay inside of these, you'll get this the burn dot. Mustard Bomb, just got the tank buster. Okay, so this is the tricky thing. Star, board, okay. Star is gonna be the right side, and the other one is lard, board is the left side. The most simple way to remember that is that L for lard is also, oh, sorry, you can't read it down there, huh? Lard left. Okay, so L for lard, L for left, star just the right side. Okay, sure. I'm sure there's other like nautical terms for things like this and all sorts of things. Remember it how you want to, but I remember L for left. Okay, now how do you figure this out? This is going to be boss relative. Okay, so right now the boss is facing north this way, and so the boss's right side, the star side, the right side is over here. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to teach directions to people. Okay, this is boss relative, and this is going to be important because the boss is when it does this move, it's basically gonna like spin all the way around. Also, when it does the move, you'll see the telegraph, but it's very fast. And it's not gonna be half, it's gonna be a little bit more than half. So let's take a look. Okay, see? It's a little bit more than half. A little bit more than 180. Okay. Whatever degree that is. Maybe somebody says it in the thingy. Do they say it? I don't see it in the wiki, so I don't know, like whatever degree this is. Okay. So, starboard, it goes on the right side. The majority of it is on the right side of the boss. Okay? We'll have to look at the anatomy of the boss so you can figure this out later. But okay, so let's just watch it. So see, it spins around, and everybody on that side that got hit with that will take a hit, and they get a bone stack. Okay. And now, check it out. The boss is doing starboard again, but, bruh, like I said, it's on its right side. And because it's facing south now, this is the right side. And so if you think starboard means this side of the stage, it's not, okay? It's boss relative. And so the right hand side of the boss is this side. So all this side's gonna get cleaved. But it's not just that side, it's a little bit more. A little bit more. Like that. Okay? So when this move happens, this is usually where people die. Because the boss is spinning around so much, and it's hard to figure out if star is left or right, because, you know, star has 4 letters, and sometimes you remember things by the letters, like how many letters there are. But that's not the case here. Lard is left. Okay. So this person died because they got hit with the other one too. And then, so if you get hit with both of these, then you're pretty much dead. If you get hit with one, you can still survive. But if you get hit with both, you're basically gonna die. Okay? So it's tricky business. So let's take a look at the anatomy. When the boss is looking away from you, this is the butt, okay? That's just what the butt looks like. When it's looking at you, which is what the tank will be familiar with, you will see the face, and it will, when it's doing the move, it'll be glowing. See, at this point, it's not, it's, you can't see it, but, okay, when it turns, I'll show you. Okay, so this is the face. It's got this, like, this is the eyes. Well, I don't know. If we're basing it off of other, like, living beings, we would think that that's what the eyes are. Okay, but this part starts glowing, okay? If you see a thing glowing at you, then that means the thing is facing you. And if the thing is facing you, then that means this is its right side, and this is the left side. Okay? Okay. Great. We're gonna see it a few times, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Moving on. Peripheral synthesis. This will create a bunch of, legit, if that starboard, lardboard thingy doesn't make sense, we're gonna see it so many times. I also have extra footage, so we'll go over it a few times. These extra ads will show up, and this is what you want to use your Omega Jammer for. I'm detecting external armaments. These will be the perfect targets for the jammer. Exactly. Okay, so you want to click on the thing, and then use the Omega Jammer. And it takes about 2 hits, and then they'll go away. This is especially good to do like in the middle, because sometimes the tanks can't, like, the tanks will be the closest ones if they're showing up on this side. And so if you can like help out and use them on the middle ones there, okay, like here, so then they don't hit the tank, that's helpful. But yeah, see, look at the tank got hit with some of the arms. Just because it happens kind of fast, you know? See, so the tank got hit with like 2 of them. But yeah, so these like move slowly across the way. And so you want to take them. If they're like off to the side, it doesn't really matter. If everybody else has space already, then it's fine. You can just leave those other ones, they'll just go away. but the tank there took a lot of excess hits, so it can be dangerous for the tank. Okay, peripheral synthesis again. We've got arms, so I'm panning my camera around trying to find out where they are, so then the back this time. So here I'm gonna take out some of them. Again, you don't have to take out all of them, but yeah, okay. So now we're getting some overlap in mechanics. Flame or flare? Flame. This is the cone stuff, so you stand between them. Okay, program loop. We're gonna get a bit of a stage change. It's gonna be circular now, and there's gonna be this thing in the middle. You don't want to stand in the middle of this, or you'll die. Okay? You don't want to stand in this stuff. I was gonna test it, but I hesitated. Because I didn't want to die. This person was standing it like, but later, when this thing shows up, and you step in it, then you die. Okay, so don't step in it once this thing shows up. Like, you can stand outside of it. Spoilers. Okay. But once this level checker shows up, we want to attack it, and then we've got this mechanic here. There are yellow circles all over the place, and we also have yellow circles on us, and so you want to go stand on one of these things, interrupt the data stream, and safeguard memory integrity. Okay, so we want to stand on these things. Ideally, all of these will be filled. If it's not, then we will end up taking a hit from every single one that's not filled, and then we'll also get a damage down. Okay, and the reason this one wasn't filled is because we had one person who was DC. I wonder if technically they would have been standing in it. Yeah, so technically they would have been standing in it. But I think somebody else also stood in that one. Yeah, if SD had gone to this one or even that one, I think we probably would have been fine because this DC person was already standing in that one. But it's okay. So now we get damage downs. Okay, executable, so we're gonna get another mechanic now. Okay, it's huge AoE, so dodge out of it first, wait for it to go off, and then go back inside. You have to go back inside because then we've got this donut AoE here. And ideally you want to stand this. You also want to stand in it, even if there's like double people. You want to stand in it to clear off your buff thing, so it gets rid of your thing. Okay, and then we just continue attacking this thing. Okay, force quit, sure. Main boss comes back. This seems like it's gonna be a huge thingy, but this is the main tank ended up using the limit break. You don't have to do that here. They immediately apologized for accidentally using it. It seems like it's a huge move, and it will be, but the part of the mechanic that we need to do is focus on this conductive focus thingy. You interact with it, and then you use your jammer, your Omega jammer, on it. See, everyone's like clicking the button right now. So, tank limit break is not necessary. The mechanic is to use the jammer. The jammer will create this huge shield for us, and then we'll get this like huge attack. Oh man. Okay, also we lost one of our healers. Okay, so it's fine. Like, as long as you have the big shield up and like some heals, it's all good. Okay, so now we'll go to the next phase. Let me go over We'll just run through it just to refresh before we move on to the other part. Atomic ray is the raid wide. Mustard bomb is a tank buster. I'm low-key allergic to my cat, which is why whenever she's here I have a bit more allergies and stuff. Okay, so make sure you're healing up the tank for those things because it can kind of hit hard. Lard board, L for left. Okay, so the boss is facing this way. Its left side's over here. So we're gonna have to avoid this side. Typically when this mechanic's going off, I try to stay in the middle and then run way more off to the side than I think I need to because of this extra angle right here. Tricky business. Okay, and then when it's facing me, I like to stand like on the hitbox itself so I know the front, and then I try to quickly read the thingy, and I'm staring at the face. It's right side, so it's gonna be on this side, and then I can just move all the way over there. Well, I guess I didn't go all the way over there, but like I moved myself that way. Okay, so yeah, you can take a significant amount of damage here, see? We had some people take 2 hits, but they didn't die. We had really good shields and stuff like that. Yeah, the healers were like on top of it, so nobody died for that. Okay, so spread out. And then avoid these cones while still spreading out. Watch out for the fire puddles or it'll get burned. Tank buster. Peripheral synthesis, so watch out for these arm things. Okay, see, I'm going up, I'm trying to take the one up there to help the tank not get hit. They still got hit, but you can see they got hit with one and then they ran this way to try to get away from it and turn the boss around. That's why the boss is spinning. Usually you don't want the boss to be spinning, but they were trying to avoid these arms, so that's why it's nice to go help out with that to get it away from the tank. Okay, peripheral synthesis again, so the arms again. They're on the side, so I'm gonna go up there and try to take some of them down. Okay. Dodge the flamethrowers. Program with, okay. So again, this middle thing is a little dangerous, so don't stand in it for too long. Especially when this thing pops up. I was totally thinking about walking in there and then that person in, I was like, whoa. Okay, yellow stuff, everybody picks a tower. Okay, so we this one we also had one that was access. This person used limit break here, and they're like, it's okay, we get it back. And then actually we did. We got it multiple times, I feel like, if I remember correctly. So it's all good, it seems, if you want to use it here. Yeah, look at that. After they use limit break, after this mechanic, look at how our limit break ends up coming back pretty quickly. See? It like refills super fast, and so it seems like, yeah, it's a good time to use it here. Somebody walked into the thingy though, so be careful with that. Yeah, after the tower thing, this person one of the tanks. They walked into this thing, so they died. Okay, so here we're dodging, and then we go in, take the tower. Okay, take the level checker down. Okay, looks like we're gonna get hit, but now we've got this thingy. So you interact with this conductive focus, use your Omega Jammer on it. See, I'm pressing the button. I thought it'd be neat to like show. I think I go inside. So it's a big attack, you know, but if you have the big shield, you'll likely be okay. And we got our entire limit break back. BT dubs. Okay? Okay. So let's go back to this one. Peripheral synthesis is going to be those arms. So this time it's one huge arm. And so it's going to do a big line AoE in the center. So you got to figure out where it is and avoid that. Okay, flamethrower again, you just dodge it, go between the cones, but be mindful of this big arm here. Hand, fist. Yeah, zooms across. Okay. Peripheral synthesis again, so we're gonna get another rocket punch situation. Okay, there's two of them. So it's gonna be here, and then like this. Just make sure you're dodging out of the way. Okay, we got AoEs, so you also spread out for that. See, people are like having to adjust and stuff, and so you just adjust with them. Like I was here, and so I moved over a little bit. Okay, watch out for those puddles. You'll get burned. Electric slide. It's a stack. Okay. Our healer is still down over there, by the way. They have been disconnected, I presume. So here, we've got a little tether. So as off tank, I'm going to go pick up the tether so it doesn't hit somebody else. So whoever ends up running in front of it is the one that takes the tether. So I'm taking the tether, and I get hit with this thing and I get a paralyze. You can use a Suna on this, and that's fine. Oh, the other healer came back, it seems. Okay. But it looks like, yeah, okay. So the mustard bomb, the tank buster went off on the main tank, and I happen to have this other tethered thingy, and I was standing a little too close. Like I tried to back it up a bit, but the radius of this thing was pretty big, and so they ended up getting hit with it too, and so they also had the paralyze. So they had really low health, and then they get hit with an auto attack, and then they died. Okay, so that's what happened there. So I could have moved further back, and I think because we only had one healer at this point, there was just a lot of other stuff going on that the healer had to focus on, and so it was just unlucky that we had that whole situation. Let's see. I want to see if they use mitigation for that too, because they might not have had any either. They had a little bit of mitigation, but I think they weren't expecting to get hit with this thing too. Okay, so there we go. So at this point, I'm switching to be main tank. I put my tank stance on. And then I go to the front. But because the boss is facing this way, wait. Yeah, okay. I just saw a message in here and the tank said something. They were like, sorry, that was my fault. But I think that was something else. We've got the starboard. We got the wave cannon stuff again. So the boss is facing this direction. When it's casting, it's locked in that position. And so you need to figure out where the boss is facing and then figure out which side is his right side. I happen to be in the front right now, and so very quickly I can understand that this is its right side. And so that means it's going to be cleaving like this. So that means I want to go on the left side of the boss. Its left side. I got hit with that because I didn't do that quickly. So now I'm looking at the butt, okay, and it's lard board. Oh, dude, it's not lard, it's lar. My bad. Okay, lar board. Lar board. What did I say? I kept saying lard. Okay, it's lar board. Why didn't anybody say anything? My cat didn't say anything. Okay, so when is lar board? You want to be on the left side? No. You don't want to be on the left side. The move is going to be on its left side. So that's this side. And so you want to be on the other side. Boss relative. And so, because I was at the butt, I was like, okay, so that means this is the left side. So I'm going to go this way. Okay, so then it turns back around. It happens very quickly, okay? Very quickly. It's gonna spin around, and it just does it in, it's like RNG, so whichever random order. Atomic Ray is the raid bag. Our healer died again. Peripheral synthesis. They were just having connection problems, so I think that's why we were also struggling a lot, because the healer's connection wasn't very good, and so we only had one healer. Okay, so these are the ones where you want to use the jammer on, and then, oh, I got hit with it. Ooh, they hit hard. 5,000 and a one stack. There's also like a huge one over there going across. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. You've got the small hands, and then you got like the big hand over there. Oh yeah, and I died. There was just a lot happening. The other tank was back though, and so it was fine. Like, I don't think I was getting any heals when I was main tank, because they were focused on trying to get the healer up and then the other tank up. And so, I mean, it's okay. Okay, but the other tank, main tank control, this is why you have two tanks, you know what I'm saying? And so here, we've got the big rocket arm in the front. Okay, here we're dodging. We've got this one coming over here, and this one over here, taking that side. And so we only have this amount of space to dodge, and then we also have to go between these cones. I just came back from the dead, and so I didn't move. Well, I didn't use any of my skills, so I could maintain this transcendence thing, and so I didn't get hit with anything, even though I was legit standing in an AoE when I came back. Okay, so I just stayed still, and I also was just waiting to see if I would get any heals. I ended up using Clemency on myself just to get a little bit extra, and then I saw that the healer did heal me a little bit when I came back, and so it's all good. Okay. And then that was the... Raid wipe. Okay, AoE spread out. Flamethrower, the cone things spread out that. Watch out for the puddles. Okay, larboard. Stay on the right side because the left side will get cleaved. Okay, it's facing us now. Starboard, its right side's gonna get cleaved, so we stay on the left side of the boss. Boss relative. Okay? Not stage relative. So you always gotta be looking at its butt or its face to figure out what the situation is. We've got a lot of people dead here now. One of which is the healer. So, our one healer that's been up. So, yeah. Also, they got a little sprout icon, okay? They were trying their best. Like, doing this by themselves. Healing by themselves. Okay, and then they accidentally ran all the way over there. Okay, so... tricky business. Okay, these rocket punch things, use your jammer on them. Okay, and then we got a stack. Was there also a big arm? Yeah, there was a big one too. It's telegraph, you can, you know, see that it's there to avoid it. So yeah, things are going south pretty quickly. I think that's a phrase, right? Like it's not going very well. Why did they use that phrase? Okay, so larboard, so that means the left side is going to get cleaved. So you want to stay on the boss's right side. I think boss relative stuff is what's most tricky about this move, but also because the boss like turns around and then all of a sudden you got to figure out a new set of directions. Okay, so now its right side's gonna go off, and I was like, oh man. Because I was trying to position myself to be the main tank, and then I got hit with that atomic rays, the raid wide. Everyone's basically dead. I'm using clemency to try to stay alive. And then I use clemency to try to keep other people alive. And it's kind of just a hot mess. So I was like, if I can keep them alive, then maybe they can do more damage and it can be done. But they did limit break and I ran out of MP, and so it was just not a good time, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and they had the tether, and I was like, oh man, but you know, I died, and so then they took the hit. We're at 5%. Yeah. It's just tricky. It's tricky. I think this is not the norm, but it's similar to the norm because some people like don't run the raid often and things like that. But I think the most difficult thing was because our one healer was they were new, and then also so that on top of just the fight itself being tricky made it so we wiped that. But yeah, because the other healer had a disconnection and stuff, I think that's why we struggled a bit. So let me just finish with this at the end of this one, and then I'll go back to the other one and show it in real time. So this is the second part, second part of the fight. Peripheral synthesis. Hey, big arms punching is doing the rush move, so we gotta avoid where it's pointing, and then avoid these flamethrower things. Dang, person got hit again. And they died. What did they get hit with? Okay, it looks like they were standing in the punch. Were they standing in the flamethrower? That's so weird. Okay, they got 999. Wow. Wait, if you get hit with that, you straight up die? Dang. Okay. Did they? I know it does really high damage, but I didn't know it could kill you. Okay. Let me see. Alright. Okay, it knocked you back a little bit. I will go double check confirm that, because I thought somebody got hit with it, but they didn't die. I'll leave a comment in the description. Okay, well, you know, I guess now you hella want to avoid these. Spread out for the AoEs. Okay, stack up here. I know that the tank had their weakness thing, but that thing did like 99999 instead of like a percentage of that. Interesting. Okay, Mustard Bomb is the tank buster, and then we got somebody with this thing. The tether. Oof. Oof. Okay, so the tether thing, this person had it. And then the off tank took it. And then the main tank took it. And then they ran it kind of close. And so when it exploded, it hit the majority of us who were already standing here. And so that's why a bunch of us took damage. And this paralyzed thing. This is what killed the tank in the other run the first time. So it does a lot of damage, okay? So ideally, one tank will take that tether and use mitigation and like, do that off to the side. Okay, larboard, left side. Okay, avoid the left side. Larboard again, avoid the left side, which happens to be this side now because it turned around. So go to the right side. So, okay, here. If you look at this vision, I'm standing close to the hitbox, and then I kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to make it in time, and so I start running in a diagonal kind of direction. My cat's yelling. My cat's whining. Because here, it's like this, and so that's like less distance than me going all the way over here. Geometry. So I try to avoid it like that. Atomic Ray, it's the raid wipe. Peripheral synthesis, got those rocket punch things. Okay, so use your duty jammer, omega jammers to get rid of that. Watch out for the AoE here. Peripheral synthesis again. Okay, dodge the flamethrower and also the big arms, the big punches on the sides. Raid wipe. I know, almost done. Almost done. Okay, AoE spread out. Flamethrower spread out. I was testing the limits of this. You can't fall off. There's a wall. Like the wall actually works as a wall. Okay, starboard. I was off to the side, so I was like, okay, which way is this front? Okay, so it's like this. I look at these markers. Starboard is the right side, so this side's gonna get cleaved. So you want to be on the other side. So see, at this point, I'm just hanging out right in the middle. like the actual middle of the hitbox and going off that. Okay, starboard, so it's the right side, so then I move to the left of the boss. So if you're okay with knowing where your character is and you can barely see them underneath the boss, that might be the best place to stand if you are if you have like a lower ping, and or if you don't want to move as much, because like the area right in the middle is going to be the most like middle you can get in terms of moving back and forth from one side to the other, if that makes sense. Okay, so see, because I was standing here, I could easily go to the left side or right side, the right side of the boss over here, or the left side of the boss. But if I'm standing right here, I kind of have to like go a little bit further, or go a bit further that way. But by standing here, it's a little bit easier to move just slightly over. But you do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? Do what works for you. It takes a long time to like kind of get the timing right. Like I've run this a few times, so a handful of times. I recently farmed the Savage version of this so that I could get some gear for Blue Mage stuff, and so that's also why I'm kind of more familiar with it. But if you don't run this very often, then yeah, it's just like, that's why you get so many people getting hit with stuff. Okay, that was the stack marker zone. Stack up. Okay, Lara is the left side, so you want to go on the right side. Is the whole thing. Okay, without that, because I have the footage, let's just get this group to redeem it. Okay, we'll do this in real time. The other healer seems to be back, so we're all good. Atomic Ray is the raid flag. I don't mind making this like a hell of a long one, just because like it is very tricky. Mustard Bomb is Tank Buster. AoE spread out. Dodge the flamethrower stuff. Watch out for the puddles, because they will burn you. Oh, the tank died. How'd they die? Okay. What's their health situation? Okay, they just weren't getting heals, so yeah. Okay, so one of the this healer didn't have their cardia up either, and so the tank was getting hit with a bunch of stuff, and yeah. So I put Mustard Bomb there. Yeah, I didn't have my tank stance on fast enough to like take aggro. But how did they initially get so much damage? Wait. Okay, so they took one Mustard Bomb. And they had mitigation. I saw their rampart. And it doesn't look like they got any heals. It just a little bit of like regen from cardia probably. Oh yeah, okay, so they're not getting much heals here. Okay, and then somebody else is targeted right now for Mustard Bomb while I was trying to get my tank stance on. Or at this point I was like, oh wait, the tank died. Yeah, I think I didn't realize the tank died. And so yeah. Okay. So at this point, I'm like, oh, shoot. I definitely need my tank stance on, and I got to provoke. But then the tank came back. So, but I was like, okay, I'm main tank now. Okay, that's all good. So here we have Starboard. So that is on the right side of the boss. So the opposite side. Okay, it turned around now. Larboard is the left side of the boss, so we move to the opposite side. Okay. Peripheral synthesis. Okay, so use your jammers on this. Oh yeah. At this point, I think that's when the other healer realized they didn't have Cardia on. They put it both on this other person, but I was main tank, and so then they switched it to me so that I could have Cardia on me. Cardia is part of the Sage's healing stuff. You get a lot of passive healing from that, so it's significant, actually. So, okay, peripheral synthesis. Arms on the side, or rocket punch fist things on the side, use your jammers. I was trying to save myself, so I went to go take care of it. Okay, dodge out of these flamethrower things. Okay, program loop. Phase change, okay, remember don't stand inside that. But we gotta attack that. Okay, everybody takes a square. I saw someone standing in one, so I was like, okay, I'll move to the next one. I was standing there first, but they stood in there, so I tried to separate it. We had somebody miss, or somebody stack up extra on one. Here we had multiple people, but we needed that one filled. It's fine. So we all just took a damage down, it's fine. Damage down just means we don't do as much damage, by the way. So it's not like we're taking damage. The bone stack is the one that makes it so we take more damage to our health. Okay, so make sure you're stacking up in these things again. Okay, and then we go back to the level checker thing. Okay, so here we're just gonna wait for the thingy in the middle to spawn, and then use our jammers on them. Oh shoot! Okay, I just read this thingy. I remember now. The reason we want to stand in the yellow thingy, the yellow towers, during this part, is if you don't get rid of this little debuff thingy, then you can lose control of your character, and you can randomly walk around. And then if you walk into this or any of like this blue stuff outside, then you'll die. Yeah, I remember that now. That was the whole thing. I'll probably get extra footage. And I'll just make a supplemental one to this. Because I want to see when you get punched by the really big fist, you actually die or not. The rocket punch thing, like that one tank died. Okay, so now we're back here, and doing the regular stuff, peripheral synthesis. Okay, we got the arms, the fist. Okay, we gotta dodge this. Okay, I didn't pan my camera here, but the fist is on either this side or that side, so it's in the middle, so you want to avoid the middle part there. Peripheral synthesis again. Okay, the fist is up here, so we gotta dodge the fist and then also spread these AoEs. Watch out for the puddles. We got a stack marker. Mustard bombs, tank buster. Okay, we got the person with the tether thing. They were running back there, and a bunch of people got hit. The person who had it was the healer, and they had a big shield though, so I think they managed to take care of themselves there. Okay, starboard, right side is not safe, so go the opposite side. Larboard, left side is not safe, so go to the right side of the boss. Atomic ray, raid wide. Remember, there's larboard and starboard. It's boss relative. Peripheral synthesis. So we got these little rocket punch things. The little, they're like huge. Okay, like compared to me. And then we got the big one. Avoid this. It's telegraphed, so it's a little bit easier to see. So to avoid that. Okay, peripheral synthesis again. Okay. Avoid these. And we spread out from those cone things, okay. Those things go off, okay. Atomic rays are raid wide. Okay, spread out for these AoEs. Avoid these cones. Watch out for this. Okay, starboard, right side is not safe, so go the other side. It's dangerous with all these puddles everywhere. Like, you might be afraid to step in them, but honestly, it might be better just to step in them to get out of the way of this thing than not. Starboard, so it's right side, so go to the left side. So again, see, like this trick, I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay in the middle there. I end up getting hit with it anyway, though. So it's tricky. Peripheral synthesis. We'll get those rocket punch things again. And yeah, man, it's a whole thing. Wow. Yeah, I'll go get some extra footage. Mostly just to show the yellow thing, but I'll also go stand in front of one of those other ones to confirm that you actually just get knocked out. Alphascape complete. Technically, we have one more Alphascape, Alphascape 4, but in terms of like the story, yeah, it's like, it's complete because we just beat Omega. So, you know, take it for what you will. Okay, goodbye. That was the whole thing. That may take some time to actually run through it yourself and like get used to how to like dodge those starboard, larboard things, but it's doable after many runs. Okay, bye.